Wait, let me fix my chair real quick. Yeah, that's it right there. Fix my chain too. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? It's your boy Jeff. This is another edition of the Jeff interview. This is part 5. I think I did one earlier this year. So I think this is the second one this year. We're coming to the end of 2024. It's been a great year. I'm gonna do this interview and I'm gonna try and do them more frequently next year. So stay tuned and let's get into it. It's the Loner Inc. General coming straight from the underground and act. How was 2024 for me? 2024 was, I think, same as last year. 2024 was a year of growth. There was a lot of trial and error in terms of just like understanding the business and moving accordingly, adjusting, linking up with new team members and putting on a show, understanding what goes into making a show, what goes into making a great show, what goes into dropping a project, and the behind the scenes of that, just like for marketing, promotions, and all different kinds of things that go behind creating a business and making sure that business runs smoothly. um it was a year of friendship. I met a lot of great people this year that I feel are gonna be lifelong friends. It was a year of just like understanding who I am and just kind of like standing on business about that. So it was just a year of growth and all these achievements. It was a year of just like growing, hitting my goals. I think one thing that stands out for me this year was probably doing the headline show in London. That was crazy. That's my first headline show. I did that in London, UK, and that was a great show. We had I had one of the homies, August Charles, open up for me. Shout out to DJ Quinton. He was the DJ for the night. He DJed my set too, and it was just a great vibe, great energy. We just like supporters and people came through. Some guy brought his mom, which was fire. I got to see just like the people that love my music and really enjoy my music just in person. Got to dap up a bunch of people, and I saw someone came from like Australia or like New Zealand all the way to London just to see the show. So it's like it's blessings on blessings. You feel me? I think another thing that stands out was probably doing On the Radar. That was dope. That was really dope. Um, I don't know. It was just like so much happened that it's a blur. I got a couple billboards here and there. I'm always grateful for the billboard. Shout out to Spotify. Shout out to Spotify Canada. I went to Denver for the first time. That was crazy because it was like somewhere in the mountains, bunch of snow and stuff. And it was just crazy. I got to open up for Eric the Architect in March in Toronto. Shout out to Eric, one of the nicest people I've met in this industry, and just like super chilled, showed us mad love, and we that show was amazing. We killed it. Eric killed it. And I think also one thing I learned from that show with Eric was just like his show had moments, and I kind of took that. I was like, damn, I'm gonna use that. So shout out to Eric. Um, I don't know. I was in New York a lot this year, just like working on this project When Angels Cry, out now by the way. Make sure you go get that vinyl CD. Um, Somewhere online. I'll put the descriptions and everything down below. But it was just a vibe, um, and coming into my own basically. Building the character Jav and just kind of like solidifying it, finalizing it, and just becoming the Black Samurai, Luna Inc. General. Um, yeah, it was crazy, man. It was a really good year of just like meeting people, meeting fans, meeting supporters, and just like really connecting with them in real life. Um, I don't know if I did the Eric show, I did my headline show, I did. I opened up for an artist called Lexa Gates. And then let me see what else. What I think I only did 4 shows to be honest with you. Actually, 3 shows. I dropped a project When Angels Cry. I collaborated with a really dope artist by the name of Pale J. Simple Days. Make sure you go stream that. But yeah, it was just a great year of discovery and just like coming into your own. So I'll say that was my 2024 for me. Someone keeps sending me messages. They're gonna have to wait until I finish recording this. But yeah, that was my 2024. Next question is, speaking of the headline show, how was that in London? The crazy thing about the headline show was it was interesting because I was trying to figure out where I was gonna do the headline show at first. So I put out this little thing on Instagram and I was like, yo, uh, where should I go with the headline show? So I think the cities were like New York, LA, Chicago, London. I think there was Sydney, Australia too. And yeah, I think those are like the top six or top five cities. And a bunch of people were like London, 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 London. So I was like, okay, cool. Um, and I didn't know how I was gonna do it. You know, I don't know how it happened, but I did an interview with Annabelle for that good shit actually. And in that interview, I was like, yo, September, October, I might be doing a London show. I don't know how, but I think that when I mentioned it in like the interview, it was kind of like solidified. Okay, London's gonna be like the show where I do. I mean, the place where I do the headline show. So once I did that, it was all about making sure people are gonna come. So we had like venue. We were like putting out promo. We were just like me and every like content piece I do, like reels, TikToks. Yo, I have a show. I have a show. I have a show. Just trying to get people to come because at first this is my first headline show, so I don't know what I don't even know the word, but like I don't know how many people fuck with Jav on that side of the world, and if people are gonna come to the show and stuff like that. What goes into a show? So my main focus with this headline show was like, yo, if 10 people come, if 20 people come, if 5 people come, they're gonna get the best show of their lives. And I was like, okay, bet. Let me focus on putting on a great show. And thankfully, people came. It was a really good amount of people too. So I was like, okay, we got them, and I received a lot of really really good feedback. If anyone was at the London show, drop a comment, let them know they missed out. But yeah, it was a really great show. I don't know, it was just like divine timing. It was just everything just lined up so perfectly. Like from the venue were like shout out to Quentin, shout out to Lucia, shout man Dan, the guy, the sound guy, um, Spark Lady. She helped with the lights. She goes by the Spark Lady on Instagram, so make sure you go check that out too. But they were just really great. They helped me put on a really great show. August Charles, he came through, he opened, he killed the set. Connor Thomas, the guitarist, Ben, the videographer, even my brother came through and he was shooting videos too. So it was just a lot of like great energy in the room. Shout out to Loops too. Shout out to Loops. But it was just a lot of great energy in the room. Everybody was like really, they were going crazy. Everyone was just like vibing out. People were singing songs back. I think I have like some clips on my Instagram somewhere, but it was just a really good time. And after that, I was like, oh man, I should really do this a lot more. So probably the next time I do a headline show is probably going to be LA or New York. Um, but it's probably going to be somewhere in the States. I think it's time to do a show in the States. I haven't done a show in the States yet. I've done a couple in Canada and London. So the States is next. So make sure you grab your tickets. And also, if you're watching this, I don't know when you're going to be watching this, but if I was your top artist for 2024, like the Spotify Wrapped or the Apple Replays, make sure you save your screenshots because that's going to be a free ticket to a Jeff show in 2025. I might extend it to 2026, but 2025. Um, yeah, but that's my experience in the for the London show. The London show was great. It was a vibe, and yeah, shout out to everyone that came to the London show. I really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. It was up in Brixton. Uh, Brixton is such a really, it's also a really dope place, low key. I wish I could explore it more. I was only there for like a week, but I was busy with like I had an interview and then I had the rehearsal, then the show, da da da. So it was like I didn't have a chance to really um scope out and just kind of like sightsee in Brixton. But I did sightsee a lot in London. I saw the London Town Bridge. I saw a bunch of stuff in London. a lot of like tourist attractions, the big bands, the what's that I forgot what's it called. What is it called? Wait, let me Google that real quick. London sightseeing. The London Eye. I saw that. That was fire. But yeah, shout out to London, man. I even saw like the little red phone booth cases. That was fire too. But yeah, shout out to London. I do see myself living in London one day. I love the vibe out there. But shout out to them. Next question. Let's get it. Tell us more about When Angels Cry. So when angels cry, CD. When Angels Cry is a body of work I dropped in 2024. It is a concept project. It's about how society corrupts our inner child. And for some reason, I don't know why, but after I dropped The Color Gray, I knew my next project was going to be a concept project. I knew my next project was going to be more, it was going to have some more meaning instead of just like different songs kind of put together. That's why The Color Gray was called the Color Gray. Was more like the gray area because I didn't know what it was really about. I had different songs about like me in college and just like struggling with like chasing my dream but trying to maintain this like college lifestyle over years. So there was songs about that, but there was also songs just like me rapping, and I just kind of put it together and called it like it was gonna be called the gray area, but I called it the color gray, and I'm so glad I called it the color gray. But I knew my next project was gonna have a lot more meaning, a lot more substance, and I wanted to kind of like narrow my focus in terms of just like what I wanted to speak about and what I wanted the project to be about. So when Angels Cry, I had the concept way before the color gray. So I always knew I was gonna do it, and I was like, okay, cool. Let me just do it right now, because if I didn't do it then, I probably would have never done a project like that. So I came up with the track list, and then I scrapped the track list, and then I came up with another track list. For some reason, I started with the track list on this project. It's crazy, but I wanted at first I wanted it to be like a story of how a child loses their innocence as they grow up. So it starts with like Alice, and they kind of come into this wonderland, and villain's theme is kind of like the teenage phase, or like the adolescence phase, or whatever it's called. But like they're growing into this villainous, like the villain's theme is the corruption, and while the art of war before that is kind of like the fight between the innocence and the villainous, and then villain's theme is like the acceptance of like, damn, this is how it is. And feel is like searching for that feeling again, for that the longing of that innocence again. And then Save a Spot for Me is kind of just like it's gone too far at this point, and you just kind of like, in this state of mind of like, yo, time is coming, my time is coming. But yeah, I wanted to have a story like that, but then for some reason I was like, yo, I felt really restricted, and I felt like very limited in terms of what I could do with the project. So I just kind of like scrapped the track list for a second, and then kind of like focused on making music with the concept in mind. And I came up with like Famous. I came up with let me see the track list real quick. Wonderland, the Samurai's Monologue, the Killer She Wolf came to me like so brilliantly, Call Me Back, and then I was like, oh, I have this side of the project, and I have the first half of the project where it's more of the storytelling. So I was like, I need something to kind of piece everything together, and that's where Why My Tears came from, because it's such a good transition from like the very hard hitting stuff, the boom bap, the energy, the very loud and just very like in your face jazz type of music, and then it transitioned to a much softer side. And that's kind of what I wanted to do with the transitions. So I wanted to tell the story and then kind of like show a much softer side, you know. And I'm glad I did it because it showed my versatility, just like my diversity when it comes to like making music. Because after the color gray, I saw a bunch of people try and put me in a box of like a very, I don't know. I didn't like the box. I was like, man, let me transition to a more Jeff sound. Like Jeff is Jeff. Like Jeff can wake up today and make, I don't know, I don't know, R&B. So I could do whatever, because I'm an artist first. You feel me? So I think when it comes to people just discovering me through different moments in my career, it's very interesting because my the way I look at it, my first official project is a project that dropped in 2019 called Untitled Low One. And that project I made when I was like 15, 16. Yeah, 15, 16. I made that in high school and then I just dropped it. And that project is more, it leans more to a more R&B side and a more like pop rap side. And then I grew out of that and then came more into the more underground rap boom bap side. And now I'm just trying to kind of like refine my sound and kind of find a way to bring all the different sides of me into one and make like a complete and cohesive Jeff sound. So this project. I'm really proud of it because this was an attempt at that, um, and I'm glad it came out. This project came with a lot of like um, learning, a lot of discovery about myself, and just a lot of learning about the business and just how very like the business in the music industry, the business comes first and the music comes after, so you really have to understand the business first before you kind of transition over to the music side of everything. And this project was dope, man. I learned a lot. um like this cover art, everybody compliments me on the cover art, but they don't know like I made this. I made the cover art. And the reason why is because we had like photographers um shoot the we had like different ideas. We like sourced out to like a bunch of like photographers and it was like not coming out great, or not coming out as we expected. And it was like, man, because it was also like in my mindset at the time is like, yo, I need to upgrade from the color gray and show a more like professional presentation. Because you have to understand, the Where's the Confetti video I shot like in my mom's house. So it was just a lot of like, oh my god, I need to show the transition from like, oh, he's coming up, he's doing his thing. So the famous music video, we did that. That was really really fun. My first time really being on set. Like it was a 12-hour set. We shot it 2 days. So the first day was 12 hours. The next day was like 12 hours again, actually. So it was like a full day on set, just like shooting props, extras. So it was like it was just a really great experience. I think going into my next project, which I have no idea what's it gonna be called, what's gonna be about, if it's gonna be concept, just like I have no idea actually. So I think the next project I feel very confident in the fact that I know my strengths and weaknesses when it comes to putting a project together, not necessarily music wise, but just like in terms of the business. And moving forward, I'm really excited to see just how far I can take it. Um, I'm really, I'm super proud of the supporters that came, bro. So many people showed love on this project, and this project came out at the height of the Drake and Kendrick beef. So, and I think Anderson .Paak also dropped the same day too. If I gotta double check, but it was crazy. So I'm like, yo, I gotta lock in and really promote. So I started dropping like content and just trying to make sure that this does what it does. But there was so many people just DMing me like, oh my god, I cried at Wipe My Tears. Oh my god, da da da. So to all the people that listened to it, took the time and just really, just really like listen to the music and appreciated it, bro. Thank you. thank you. Like this is like it's always I'm always in awe when people like tell me like they listen to my music and like they live with it because I do that with like the music that I love. So I don't take that for granted at all. And man, it's just been a really great year of understanding and I'm ready for what's next. I'm ready for the next chapter. One thing about me is I always I like the idea of creating. So I'm always trying to figure out like what's next, what can I create? Is it a project like a music project or is it like a project like a film project? I just want to create and keep creating. Um, so I'm looking forward to you know what happens, what I get inspired by, and I'm really open to just receiving information right now and receiving inspiration. And I'm creating every day right now. So next year is going to be a very, very, very interesting year, which leads us to my next question from myself, actually. Let's get it. What's next? 2025. 2025 is going to be a year of 2025 is going to be a year. Actually, I don't really know what 2025 is going to be a year of, to be honest. I think I'm just going to do what I have to do and see what happens. I think the biggest mistake with a lot of us is like we set expectations and we set goals and we're ready to attack those goals. But in reality, it's like, yo, so many things can happen. I feel like 2025, instead of like setting these crazy goals and setting these crazy standards, I think people should be focusing on consistency. I think like little consistent steps every day is much more achievable than, yo, in 2025 I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this big thing, I'm going to do this big thing. It's always great to have goals and dreams, and it's always great to dream big, actually. But I feel like the most important thing about dreams and goals and all of this is the small consistent steps. You want your music to blow up but you don't make content. You want your music to blow up but you don't connect, you don't network, you don't work on your craft. You want your finances to change but you don't learn about savings and investing and doing all these little things. So it's like I don't really care about setting the big name goal right now. I think I care about the discipline and the consistency of achieving and making it through every day. You feel me? Making it through the day, I feel like is my goal for 2025. Just taking it one step a day, one day at a time. My bad, but one day at a time, and just being consistent, being consistent, and showing up and trying to I don't know, trying to just hype yourself up or give yourself this fake motivation that you're gonna do something big and you're gonna go for it. But once something happens, it's like you get discouraged and then you're like back to phase one and then you wait for the next year and then it's like the same cycle over and over. So I don't really believe in New Year resolutions. I just kind of do the work, which leads me into my closing of this. At this point, it's a podcast. Um, I want to close. I usually close the Jeff interview, these type of videos with advice. I don't really like giving advice, but I feel like a lot of people need it. So today's advice is, I don't know if I've said this advice before or this quote before, but maybe some people need a reminder. Don't be afraid to be seen trying. I think too many people are not really afraid of I think too many people are afraid of being seen. I think a lot of people are afraid to fail in public. And my philosophy is like, yo, just do it. If it fails, at least you know what not to do. So that way when you come back, you know what to avoid, and just kind of go for it. So don't be afraid to be seen trying. Just kind of like lock in and go for it. You know, you gotta understand that, especially as if you're a musician or if you're like a content creator, you really have to understand it only takes one piece of content or one piece of or one song to work. And once that works, it's like, oh, I think I don't know where I saw it, but they were like, yo, everything is corny until it works. Message. Message. You know, so surround yourself with like-minded people. Negative people don't like to be negative alone, so keep that in mind. And also keep in mind, you'll never be judged by someone that's doing way more than you. You'll never be judged by someone that's doing way more than you. And remember, it's also easier to criticize than to create. Understand you become what you think about. Change your thoughts, change your life. And it's okay to be different, you know? Once again, ladies and G's, I go by the name The Loner in General, Lord Jefferson. Some of y'all know me as Jav. Until next time, to be honest with y'all, I'm gonna try and do these more. But I'll see y'all soon. And make sure you cop a CD, cop a vinyl. Merch is sold out, thank God. Music is coming soon. I have an idea for how I'm gonna drop music next year, so stay tuned. Yeah, keep sharing. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their mom that Lord Jefferson is the one. Stay tuned in. Right now it's the holidays, so happy holidays. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. But lock in. It's time to lock in. I think this is like the perfect time to lock in. So, you know, enjoy the times, enjoy the holidays, you know, spend time with your family and do all that good stuff. But then January 2nd, it's time to lock in. It's time to lock in. But yeah, I am your host, Jav, and this was another episode of the Jav interview. This one was a bit longer. I'm not gonna lie, this one's a bit longer, but this one was probably the easiest to record because I just like, you know, I have my MacBook and I just hit record. I was trying to, my camera broke, so I can't really record my camera, and I have my phone. My phone's like, I have a bunch of messages always just popping up, and then I have an iPad, but I'm low key bougie, so I was like, man, let me just do it with the MacBook. But yeah, man, keep going. I'm gonna keep going. It's not over till you win. It's not. I keep dropping bars. Yo, no, let me leave. Let me leave, man. Let me leave. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to figure out if I have anything else to say. You know, do things that scare you. I'm just dropping bars right now. Oh my goodness gracious. Bro, my phone says she wanna be famous. I'm gonna leave, man. Yeah, peace out, peace out, peace out. I'll see y'all soon. It's the Lord Jefferson. And peace out. Okay, I'm leaving now. Okay. Bye. Oh shit, bye.